In the quiet moments of your life, when the noise of the world softens and the pulse of your thoughts becomes audible, there arises a yearning for clarity, for presence, for deeper purpose. This is the space where the book Easy Techniques to Improve Focus gently enters. It doesn't barge in with urgency or demand perfection. Instead, it invites you inward, like a compassionate guide leading you back to yourself. The message of the book is simple yet profound. Focus isn't about effort alone, it's about alignment, aligning your attention with your values, your time with your priorities, and your energy with what truly matters. The modern mind is scattered. Our attention is constantly hijacked by buzzing devices, endless scrolls, and the illusion of multitasking. We've normalized distraction so deeply that stillness now feels foreign, even frightening. The book opens with a powerful reflection. Focus is not about doing more, it's about being more intentional. The author shares that most people approach productivity through pressure. But pressure without purpose fractures the mind. Instead, the journey to better focus must begin with clarity. What are you focusing for? Why does it matter? Without an internal compass, even the sharpest attention is wasted on trivial pursuits. Clarity, as the first pillar, is explored with deep emotional resonance. The author uses the story of a young woman named Laura, an overworked project manager who constantly felt behind, distracted, and unfulfilled. Laura believed her problem was time management, but after weeks of journaling, meditation, and honest self-inquiry, she realized her mind was resisting focus because her heart was resisting the path she was on. Her job didn't light her up anymore. Her focus was splintered not by lack of discipline, but by lack of desire. This is a crucial truth. We cannot force ourselves to focus on what we do not care about. The book encourages readers to reclaim focus by returning to the why, to ask themselves not just, what am I doing today? But, what kind of life am I building with my attention? From there, the book introduces practical, yet spiritually grounded techniques to sharpen focus without stress. One such technique is single tasking with sacredness. It challenges the popular belief that multitasking is efficient. Instead, the author invites us to treat each task, no matter how mundane, with reverence. Washing dishes becomes a form of meditation. Answering emails becomes a conscious practice in clarity and kindness. When you do one thing at a time, fully present, you train the mind to stop scattering and start settling. A settled mind is a focused mind. And over time, this ritual of presence becomes not just a productivity tool, but a spiritual discipline. The book gently emphasizes the power of morning rituals. Your mind is most malleable in the early hours. What you feed it, thoughts, intentions, silence, becomes the tone for your day. The author suggests beginning each morning with a 5-minute focus ritual. Breathe deeply, repeat a simple intention, such as, today I will focus on what matters, and visualize yourself moving through your day with clarity. This isn't a productivity hack. It's a realignment of energy. By beginning the day grounded, you reduce mental resistance and welcome in calm determination. Over time, this morning practice acts as an anchor, pulling you back to center whenever the waves of distraction rise. Another transformative concept in the book is the management of internal triggers. So often, we blame the outer world for our lack of focus, emails, social media, noisy environments. But the book reveals that most distraction comes from within. We flee focus because we are avoiding discomfort, boredom, anxiety, fear of inadequacy. The author calls these emotional exit points. And every time we open a new tab or pick up the phone, we are trying to escape an uncomfortable feeling. To improve focus, we must stop running and start listening. When you feel the urge to escape your task, pause. Ask, what am I feeling right now? By naming the emotion, loneliness, stress, fear, you remove its grip. You reclaim your choice. One especially moving chapter explores the role of rest in focus. It shatters the myth that focus is all about effort. True focus blooms in balance. Just as a muscle needs recovery to grow, your attention needs intentional rest to renew. The author introduces the concept of deep rest, not just sleeping, but doing things that restore your nervous system. This could be walking in nature, sitting in silence, or even creative play. A well-rested mind is not only more focused, but also more joyful. The story of James, a burned-out executive who rediscovered his love for painting, shows how creative rest replenished his energy and doubled his productivity, not by doing more, but by feeling more alive. The book also explores digital boundaries, not with shame or judgment, but with compassion. Technology is not the enemy. The problem is our unconscious relationship with it. The author proposes a gentle digital detox, Set tech-free hours, especially during meals and mornings. Turn off notifications. Remove apps that drain you. But don't stop there, replace them with rituals that nourish you. One powerful suggestion is the 90-30-90 technique. For the first 90 minutes of your day, spend 30 minutes on deep focus, then 30 minutes on physical movement or fresh air, and finally 30 minutes in creative or joyful expression. This pattern trains your mind to focus, flow, and flourish, without burning out. As the book progresses, it unveils a deeper truth: focus is love in motion. When you give someone your full attention, your child, your partner, your craft, you are saying, "You matter. I am here." In a distracted world, focused presence is the highest form of love. The story of Amir, a father who struggled to bond with his son due to work pressure, becomes the emotional heart of the book. Amir began practicing daily, presence play, 10 minutes each day with his child, no phone, no agenda, just connection. The results were transformative. Not only did his relationship deepen, but his own focus improved, because love became his compass. Toward the end, the author delves into mental nutrition. What you consume mentally affects your focus just as food affects your body. If you feed your mind fear, gossip, noise, it becomes agitated and restless. But if you nourish it with silence, uplifting stories, and intentional input, it begins to reflect clarity. The suggestion here is to curate your mental diet. Unfollow what drains you, follow what uplifts you. Read slowly, journal, seek solitude, not as isolation, but as connection to your inner self. These small choices shape the quality of your mind, and where your mind goes, your life follows. Finally, the book leaves you with a sacred reminder: you are not a machine to be optimized, you are a soul to be awakened. Focus is not about squeezing more out of every second, it's about giving more meaning to every moment. When your focus becomes intentional, your life becomes intentional. And when your life is intentional, even the smallest actions, breathing, listening, walking, become acts of grace. So, dear listener, if you find your attention scattered, your days slipping through your fingers, and your mind weary from constant noise, return to the gentle wisdom of this book. Begin with one breath, one choice, one moment of undivided presence. You do not need to master everything today. You only need to begin. And as you do, you will discover that the power to focus was never lost, it was simply waiting for your return. Let this not just be a summary, but an invitation to live more slowly, to focus more deeply, and to love more fully, with your whole presence, your whole heart, and your whole attention.